Hello, this is Catherine Basu from Fit Armadillo, the fitness company that lets you enjoy your fitness at your place and your pace. And I'm here today because it is Tighten and Tone Tuesday. I'm so excited for this week's video because it's giving me the chance to talk to you about two of my favorite things in the whole wide world, and those are running and shoes. So technically I'm going to be talking to you about running shoes and not running and shoes, but what I'm going to talk to you about today is the importance of buying the correct running shoes for your feet and your running style. If you're like me and you're a sucker for cute stilettos, your shoe buying process should look a lot different when you're buying running shoes than it does when you're buying your cute, fun weekend shoes. One of the great things about running as a form of exercise is that you don't need to spend really any money in order to get started with the sport. But there is one thing that you want to spend some money on, and that is your running shoes. So how do you make sure that you're buying running shoes for comfort and not for how stylish they look? There's really only one answer to this question, and that's to find a specialty running shoe store where you can get properly fitted for your running shoes. Now, sometimes when I tell clients or friends or family members that they should go and invest in some proper running shoes and get fitted in a store, I get a little resistance. I hear that running shoes are so expensive in a specialty store. And the truth is that if you buy shoes in your specialty shoe store, they are going to be a little bit more expensive. But what you're paying for there is the knowledge of the shoe store professional who's going to help you find a shoe that is perfect for your needs and your feet. If the price tag of the shoes that they recommend is scary, you can always ask for a different model that's in your price range. Most running stores will give you a few options of shoes and brands that will work well for your feet, so just make sure that you ask about those options and talk about your budget. Now, even when you do get to look at more than one brand, you'll definitely find that buying shoes in an actual brick and mortar store is going to cost more than online stores, and that's just because of the overhead that goes into an actual storefront. But I still really want to urge you to go to the actual store and take advantage of the knowledge that the salespeople should have if you're shopping at a reputable shop. You don't have to buy your running shoes from your specialty shoe shop every single time, but if you can buy them there when you buy your first pair of running shoes, it's going to save you a lot of hassle in the long run, pun kind of intended. And you can always go and buy the same model online and save some money after you are sure that those shoes work for you. If you're new to running and going to a specialty running store feels a little bit like how going to the car dealer to get a repair done on my car feels to me, which is absolutely scary, and I have no idea what's going on, but feel like I'm going to just be spending more money than I bargained for. I just want to give you a few tips that will make the buying process a little easier and set you up for success when you go in there and talk to your shoe salesperson. The first tip I have is for you to buy your running shoes near the end of the day. As we walk around and go through our days, our feet tend to swell a little bit. So if you go in the morning, your foot might not be the same size as it would be when you might end up running in the afternoon, and you don't want to have a shoe that's too small for your foot. In addition to buying your running shoes at the end of the day, you're also going to want to go up a half size from your normal shoe size in order to have running shoes that fit you properly. Why is going up half a size in your running shoes so important? If you know runners or have run in the past and you had shoes that didn't fit properly, you will get something called runner's toe, which might sound like a cool thing, but actually is not. It's basically what happens if you're running and your shoes are too tight, and you'll end up getting black toenails because your feet will be bumping against your toe box and you'll get some blood under there, and it's pretty gross, and it can actually keep you from running because your feet will hurt in your shoes. So unless you really want a free black pedicure, make sure that you buy your running shoes half a size larger than your normal shoe size. Other things to keep in mind when you go to buy your running shoes are to bring your old pair of shoes, so even if they're not running shoes, the type of shoe that you've been wearing around a lot, and also the socks that you intend to wear with your running shoes. You want to make sure that the fit for your shoe is going to match the socks that you plan on wearing, so that's important. And if you bring your old shoes, the shoe store salesperson can look at your old wear pattern, so where your foot was lying the most in your old pair of shoes, and they'll be able to recommend a shoe that fits best for the way that you walk. So if you're getting ready to start a running routine, I could not be more proud of you, but just make sure that you buy the proper shoes and visit a specialty running shoe store to get off on the right foot. Now, sometimes there are cases where we don't have time to go to a shoe store for some reason, and I really stress that you still try to go, but I can also offer some other resources that can help you. So recently I had a client who is in college and doesn't have a way to get to a specialty shoe store because of the town that she's in. So what I recommended to her was to keep in mind the same tips I gave to you. Make sure you go up half a size, make sure you try on shoes at the end of the day, make sure you wear the socks that you're going to wear with your shoes, and finally looking at the wear pattern in your old shoes. So if you can't really tell what's going on in your old shoe, another great thing to do is what's called a wet test. And this is going to help you figure out what type of arch you have for your foot. If you're figuring out what type of arch your foot has with a wet test, all you need to do is put your foot in some water and then step on something that's going to show the imprint of your foot. So usually this would be something like cement, but if you just have tile or carpet in your home, that's not going to be so easy. So instead you can use a paper bag and just wet your foot, step on the paper bag, and see what type of arch pattern you have based on that wet test. Two other really great resources that I want to recommend are the Runner's World Shoe Finder. So I'll put a link to that in the notes below this video, but it's really great because you are able to put in a lot of the facts that your shoe store associate would ask you and get some recommendations based on that. I've actually had a few clients who have tried this shoe finder since I found it and since buying their running shoes in the store, and they actually came out with the same shoes that their salesperson had recommended. So again, I really stress that you go in and talk to someone in person, but if you can't do that, then this shoe finder is actually a really great way to get a better idea of what shoes you should buy based on more than just looks. And finally, if you're buying shoes online, it's great to find a shoe store that offers a guarantee that the shoes will feel good even after you run on them. So one website I really like is Roadrunner Sports. They offer a 90-day guarantee on their shoes. So unfortunately, I'm not affiliated with Roadrunner Sports, but maybe they'll help me out in the future. But something to try out, or just find another shoe store that offers the same options. Thank you so much for stopping by and learning more about running shoes with me. The lesson of the day is that it's okay to buy uncomfortable or impractical shoes that you're going to wear on your off days or when you're going out, but don't buy running shoes based on their style. Make sure that you're buying shoes that fit your body properly so that you prevent injury, blisters, black toenails, and don't have to experience any downtime in your running routine. Thank you so much for stopping by for Tighten and Tone Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful or know someone that needs some help figuring out how to buy their first pair of running shoes, please share this video. Have a great week and an awesome workout.